Hey guys, trust me, there must be one or two things you must learn from this tutorial, even if you've seen a tutorial on how to sew a shirt dress before. So without wasting much of our time, let's dive right into the tutorial. So to get your fold, guys, I used my hip measurement because it's the bigger part of my body, divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches, assuming you don't want it so free. Okay, so if you like the fitting on me from the previous video, go ahead and do the same thing. So I decided to fold both the back and the front together, but for the front I added extra 3 inches, which is what you are seeing right there. So the front is the one down while the back is the one on top, because we have to draft from the back. Okay, so that is it for the fold. Please use your body measurement for this, but you can as well check my measurements at the description. I will leave my measurement there at the description, assuming you still need it. So go ahead and mark your shoulder. So for me, my shoulder is 15, but I divided by 2 and I have 7.5, but I did 8 inches, which means I added extra ½ inch for joining it to the sleeve. So I came down 9 inches. This is standard measurement for adults, but for someone who is very big, like a fat person, you may do 9.5. So I came down 9 inches, and then my half length is supposed, that is my waist point, is supposed to be 16.5, but I did 17 because I need that ½ inch for joining the shoulder. Then for my hip, I did 26 instead of 25.5. For the full length, I've already minus the part for the ruffles, so what I have there is 33 because I need ½ inch to join the shoulder and ½ inch to join the body to the main piece. So next thing is to connect the vertical lines. So these lines we are connecting this way is to help us get the horizontal measurement. So after doing that, the same thing you have on your shoulder, mark it here. So I have 8 at the shoulder, I marked it there. Connect it this way and come down by 1 inch. Yes, come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope. So now mark your horizontal measurement, starting with your bust divided by 4. Mine is supposed to be 9, but I added 2 inches extra, both for ease and for joining. So at the waist it's supposed to be 7.25, but I rounded it off to 10 inches because I didn't want it going in. This is shirt dress. Okay, so at the hip I decided to skip the hip because it's not necessary since I've already used the hip to get the measurement that I needed. So at the hem I already have like 10 inches, which is my hip divided by 4 plus extra 3. So I came up 2 inches from the hem. This is to eliminate sharp edge there. So from that 2 inches I'm going to connect it to the waist. Did you see? Please, one thing with learning is to ensure that you are very observant. So you have to learn with observation. It's very important. Okay, so blend this part so that it won't have that sharp point there. Is advisable you do so. Okay, so after that go ahead and connect the curve, that is the 2 inches you came off from the side hem, and connect it towards the center. Okay, so you see, just make sure you have something like this. So having done that, next is to get the midpoint of this armhole and connect it using your curve rule. Now I came in by 0.5, that is ½ inch, but it's not necessary, which is why I decided to ignore it. You don't need to mark the front measurement on the back part because obviously they're not going to cut on it. So that was why I decided to ignore that 0.5 inch. Don't worry, you will still understand everything as we move further. So next is to get your neck measurements. Please pay attention to what I'm doing. Remember, we are cutting with the back, so I'm not just going to mark the front measurement on the back. Remember, I'm only going to mark the back measurement here. And for the neck width I did 2.5, while the neck depth I did 1 inch. So after marking it, connect it this way and give it a very beautiful curve. You see what I just did there? Just curve it slightly. So for the front I just decided to mark 3 inches, but I'm not going to mark it on the back. I only marked it on that placket allowance. Okay, so that is it for that. We are done with the back. Next is just to go ahead and connect the shoulder slope to the neck part and cut. So guys, moving forward, I would like you to pay close attention to whatever I'm doing, okay? So if you're yet to join this family, please do so. All right, do so. This would be a good opportunity for you to join this family to always get this type of valuable content. So I decided to also confirm the hip to ensure that I still have like 2 inches remaining. Remember, my hip is supposed to be 10, but I have 12 inches there. So that is to show you that I still have up to 2 inches there. Okay, so guys, continue cutting, and by the time you get to the waist part, notch it. Yes, I like to notch to ensure that my clothes is not dragging at that point, and also it will also help me to know where to place my pocket, assuming I want to use pockets on this dress. But I'm not putting pocket though, it's just to guide me to ensure that okay, fine, it's not dragging and the waist is sitting where it should sit. So this armhole too, where I marked the center, you see, I decided to also notch it so that it will guide me where to mark that 0.5 inch for the front so that I can curve it. But guys, the notching shouldn't be serious, just small something that would make you identify it. But you can decide to skip it and just use your tape to mark it later. So you see what I have here, the back part is ready guys. Go ahead and keep it aside. Now it's time for us to finish up with the front part, and to do so you should mark 3 inches neck depth and 2.5 inch neck width. Remember, the neck width has to be the same with the front and back, yes, so that while joining your shoulders you won't have issues. So while trying to curve, I noticed that I made mistake there, which is why I confirmed my measurement and corrected it. Always pay close attention to your measurements, it will save you a lot of stress. So go ahead and curve it. Okay, you can use your ruler for it, at least to get that perfect curve, but I use freehand for it. So from that part that you notched, come in 0.5 inch, that is ½ inch for that armhole bulging elimination for the front. So I decided to use my ruler to mark the lines clearer so that I can get the perfect curve. So go ahead and mark it and then curve. Go ahead and curve. You see, cut it off and your front armhole will be ready. Guys, please remember, if there is any part you didn't understand, the comment section is there for you to ask questions. I promise I'll be there to clarify you of any misunderstanding whatsoever, just to ensure that whatever you need to do, that you get it right. So to cut off this part, you don't need to fold it in before cutting off. Go ahead and cut it off straight like this. Then remember to observe the curve there too. Next is to open up the center. It does not need to be closed, okay? But then while at that, make sure that you notch the parts that you marked for the plackets. So notching it will ensure that by the time you want to fold, that you won't go beyond where you should stop. So notch it at the neck part and again at the hem and cut it open. Yes. So after cutting it, separate it and you will have 2 pieces, one for the right and one for the left. Now determine where you want your button to be and where you want the buttonhole to be. Now guys, did you see the essence of that notch? By the time you want to fold, it will help you to ensure that everything is sitting where it should be. This part is very, very important. It's optional, but I like to do it. It's one of my professional sewing tips for plackets. Now go ahead and determine where you want the button to be. For mine, I like the button to be at the left part while the buttonhole will be at the right part. So from that left part, I decided to come in 0.5 inch, that is ½ inch. That means I reduced it by ½ inch instead of having that exact 3 inches for the plackets, which means that 3 inches, if I fold it into 2, it will give me like 1 inch, but this 2.5, folding it will give me like 0.75. It won't be up to 1 inch. And the reason is because after stitching on it and then you button up your shirts, the stitching line will not show, because one part, that is the part that will cover it, will be bigger than the part that has the button. That is the essence of this. Now when you try this, let me know if you like it, and again let me know if you'll be using it moving forward. I would like to know that yes, this works for you and you learned something from this tutorial. So that is it for that. Next is to cut the sleeves, and to do so you need your armhole measurement for the back. For this, please make sure you use the armhole measurement for the back piece. So whatever you got there, minus 1 inch from it and then get your fold with it. So I got 10.5 and I minus 1 inch. So what I have here is 9.5. So I have 2 folds here, one for the right hand and one for the left hand. And for my cap's height, I decided to do 4 inches, but I'll still adjust it slightly. So I came in here by 2.5 inch because I want to start the curve from there. So you see, I did freehand. If you know how to do freehand, go ahead and do it. But if you don't know, I'll still make a detailed tutorial on how to cut sleeve, perfect sleeve. So after confirming my measurement, I noticed that it was longer than what I wanted. So I tried to adjust it slightly and then I reconfirmed. At this point, I got exactly 10.5 inch that I needed. So with that measurement, I decided to proceed to the next stage, which is the length. Oh, I've already done that, but I wanted to just show you guys. So the full length of the sleeve is 9 inches for me, but then I did 10.5 because I wanted 1 inch to hem it and half inch to attach the sleeve. So at the hem, I said to add 2 inches to my actual round sleeve measurements. The 2 inches will serve as 1.5 inch for ease and half inch for joining. So I decided to also make the markings clearer since I know I've already gotten what I wanted at that point. Do you see it? So I came up half inch from the hem to give it a slight curve. At least this will help to eliminate a sharp curve there after folding your sleeve. So your sleeve is almost ready, but not 100% ready. Now observe what I'm going to do now. Remember that the front and the back armhole is not the same, so you should as well observe it while drafting your sleeve. Did you see what I'm doing here? I did it freehand, but don't worry, maybe in a more detailed tutorial I'm going to make, I will ensure I explain everything properly, but then you can still understand from what I'm doing right now. So go ahead and cut it off. So after cutting off, please guys observe what I'm doing, and if for any reason you have question, please ask. Did you see I did not cut on the one inside, rather I cut on the one outside? So that one outside that I cut is actually for the back measurement, but then for us to get the front measurement, I opened it up this way, ensuring that the right sides are facing each other and the center points are at each other, that are like at the same point. So I pinned it down this way. I also pinned down this particular side as well to ensure that it's equal at all sides, so that by the time I cut, it won't affect anything. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and cut it off. So after cutting it off, this part will now serve as the front armhole, while the other part will now serve as the back armhole. By the time you learn this method, your sleeves will sit properly after joining. I decided to cut the ruffles off camera, guys, but this is what I did. It's actually supposed to be 5 inches, but I did 6.5. Half inch to join it to the main body and 1 inch to hem it. To determine how long it should be, use your round hem measurement after joining it, multiply by 2.5 or by 3, depending on how you want it. Okay. Also, I prepped the placket off camera, but I'll still show you what I did. And to do so, please go ahead and interface it. Yes, I use paperstay for it. Go ahead and interface it and place it, and then fold it this way, the way I did. I used iron to fold it, ensuring that it's sitting properly exactly where it should be and that is not going beyond that notched part. So after folding it, I used hemming gum to hold it together as well, so that the stitching will be easier. Some persons may not even want to go through this process. They will just go ahead and fold and then stitch while sewing. For mine, I prep mine. At least it's one of the professional ways to ensure that you get a very nice finishing. So go ahead and prep it this way and then run a stitch. Guys, this is what you should have after ironing. Do you see how firm it's looking? Yes, you should aim for the same thing. Now run that straight stitch, because you can't rely on the hemming gum alone. And guys, do you see the second part? Can you see the essence of that 0.5 inch that we reduced earlier? You should aim for the same thing. Next is to join your parts together, and to do so, start from joining the shoulders and then joining your sleeve. I also joined, yes, I run that straight stitch that I advised earlier, and then join the sides. So this is what you should have after doing all that. Please, while sewing, remember you should be ironing. It's important. Learn to iron as you sew. Now next thing is for us to cover this, yes, to close off this part. And remember, it should be the part that is bolder covering it, and that part that is bolder is the part that the buttonholes will be, right? While the part that is slimmer will be the part that the buttons will be on. So pin it this way and run a stitch just at that point only. After doing that, attach your prepped ruffles and you are good to go. So after that, next is your collar. Guys, I have a detailed tutorial on my channel already for this particular collar drafting and the sewing. It's important to watch it. I promise after watching it, moving forward, drafting your collars will not be difficult for you. Now after doing that, go ahead and put your buttons. Yes, put your buttons and also weave the inside to have a neat finishing inside as well. And this is what you should have, guys. Now look at the gown. Can you observe how the collar is sitting very pretty? Guys, please watch that tutorial. It's important you do so, okay? And please subscribe. Bye.